Yo, what's going on guys, it's Maffu. And before we get into the video, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're at 667 at the point of this recording. So if you could subscribe and like the video, that helps so much for my channel. And in today's episode of Kingdom Review, we're actually doing something a little bit special. As you know, we're entering KVK 3, so we'll be checking out the possible A-seed kingdoms that we could be playing against in KVK 3. Now this will be Kingdom 9, 15, or 30. Let me quickly look for the power scan and I'll show it to you in 1 second. Alright, so I don't know if this power scan is pre-migrations or post-migrations. Shout out Scythe for sending it to me. But as you can see, we're at 16.7 billion total power in the top 400 players. And we got 15 at 15.1, 9 at 14.5, and 30 at 14.1. Now, what I've heard in KVK 3 is that there'll be 2 A seeds and 6 B seeds per KVK, and it'll be 1 A seed versus 1 A seed and then 3 B seeds versus 3 B seeds. I think that's how it works. I'm not 100% sure. So if we're going off this, we will be fighting 15 and then 9 will be fighting 30 maybe, potentially. And then these 6 from 5 to 10 will be the potential allies for us. Each side will get 3, which sounds pretty cool. I think this KVK would be actually really interesting if they messed with the map a little bit and actually allowed some fighting early on. So if you look at the map, it's top versus left and right. So basically there's no passes along these borders, only ruins and altars. So the only time you actually get to fight the other kingdoms is in Kingsland, which kind of sucks in my opinion. But without further ado, let's take a look at these kingdoms. We'll be starting at kingdom number 9, 3609, and we are the only Imperium kingdom out of our group so far, so they are still getting migrants still. So this might not be their final power before KVK, I will say that. So this definitely looks like a One Alliance kingdom, which I think is a good thing. I think One Alliance kingdoms are easier to run, personally. We got Sons of Arthalon, we got Mini as the leader, and as per usual, we'll be taking a look at the tier 5 players. We got Time here, 44 million power, 236 million KP. Pretty standard, similar to my account. 59 million power here, 601 million KP. Very strong. And then we have the OG RBT. Pretty huge whale, 190 million power, 2.5 billion KP. Native whale, only 2 KVKs participated in. 8.6 million deads. We got Karma, 41 million power, 201 million KP. We have Dragon, 62 million power, 465 million KP. 4.1 million deads. We got Ham, 59 million power, 523 million KP. So far, looking like a strong kingdom. This could be a good opponent. Yeah, Mito, 45 million power, 134 million KP. KP's a little bit on the lower side, but maybe they didn't get much fighting. I know in 26, we actually didn't get a lot of fighting. A lot of our native players, KP is lower because of that. 486 million power, or KP here. That's a lot of kills. 32 million kills is not nothing. For tier 5, we got Mystic here with the Minion. 70 million power, 504 million KP. Nice. We got the Beauty. 48 million power, 180 million KP. Also, I saw that there's some drama in Apocalypse Gaming's Restart Kingdom. Let me know if you guys want me to cover that, because I did get some screenshots of what was going on. Could be an interesting drama video. I don't know if I'm blowing it out of proportion, but could be kind of cool content. 77 million power here, 438 million KP. We got LJ, everything's hidden, 61 million power, 224 million KP. We got Blazewee, I don't know how to pronounce that, 51 million power, 131 million KP. We got Jibao Mao, 56 million power, 677 million KP, 31 million news killed. Yeah, this is looking up to be a strong kingdom, not gonna lie. Come with me, 45 million power, 338 million KP. We got Leaf, 93 million power, 411 million KP. We got 121 gigawatts, 71 million power, 540 million KP. Okay. Now I know I'm skipping the line for kingdom reviews. This is kind of like a separate video. This is not kingdom spotlights, but I'm still going to put it in the same playlist. This is more like scouting my KVK opponents kind of vibe. I did this last KVK. Did pretty good video. And I think it's kind of nice just to see who we're up against, and maybe I'll recognize some of the names on the field when we're fighting them, if we fight these players, which is kind of cool. We got Joshua here. We got Moon Arrow, 45 million power here. No Mercy. Absolute in Doubt, 83 million power, 1.7 billion KP. Pretty huge whale right here. Now, I don't know how many of these players are native and how many are migrants. Migration is open for these kingdoms, so potentially if you guys are watching the video and want to come fight us in 26, that could be kind of fun. We are looking for a hard fight in Kingsland and Altars and Ruins, so let's go to Philippe. 25 million units killed there. Leighton here, 50 million power. We got Swordsman. Now I am expecting either 9, 15, or 30 to hit Imperium before we fight them. I feel like it makes sense. There's still like a long time before KVK starts. It actually starts on the 22nd. And that's when we enter pre-KVK. We got Papo, 73 million power here. A little bit of KP on the lower side, but still super strong there. 74 million with 1.5 bill. That's kind of crazy. 2 KVKs, a native player. We got Cordebrice, 68 million power. 70 million power here, 170 million KP. Yeah, there's a lot of strong players here. That's a good section. That's great. Oh, another 70 mil. They have a lot of 70 mil players. Zero Fame here. We got Panther. I will say their KP is a little bit on the lower side. That does not mean they're not a fighter though. Another 70 mil right here. A lot of the strong kingdoms in our section, I believe, didn't get a lot of fights. I think 9 did get some good fights though. So I think these KP should be higher. Bloody, 140 mil. We got the Beastly, 250 mil KP, 50 million power. Fenrir. Huh. We have a couple Fenrirs. Well, we have one Fenrir with multiple accounts in our kingdom. Is this a fraud? Or is this Fenrir's secret account? Interesting. Handsome Boy. Lucas Mito. Darlong. Oops. There we go. 835 million KP. We got Meth Azuri, 58 million power, 325 million KP. Ibelka, 59 million power, 401 million KP. Now, we did actually get some screenshots of males, 601 million KP here. We did get some screenshots of males saying that Kingdom 9 and Kingdom 15 were trying to avoid us in power. But someone dropped in to my live stream chat the other day and said that 15 is looking to fight us now, and they would actually fight us in Ruins and stuff. We have Vort, 82 million power, 363 million KP. Gaming with Chew. Where do I recognize that name from? Is that a YouTuber? One second, I'm going on a little tangent. I'm looking this up. Gaming with Chew is a YouTuber. I remember seeing their live stream a couple months ago or something. So this guy actually has a YouTube channel. It looks like he hasn't posted in a minute, but who knows? I took a little break on my YouTube channel. Could be back. Check him out. Gaming with Chew. We got Legends for Style, 54 million power, 90 million KP. Ruja, 50 million power, 220 million KP. Windstroon, 62 million power, 502 million KP. We got Karios, 68 million power, 432 million KP. Yazgatlu, or Yazgatl. Stats are hidden, but 590 million KP, pretty good. We got Fuzzy, ooh, 1.1 billion. Getting a billion KP just looks super nice. What governor do you think will be the first governor to hit 1 trillion KP? Or is that not even possible? I mean, it's gotta be possible if this game lasts long enough, you know? 65 million power, 749 million KP here. And we got Eclipsed, 66 million power, almost a bill KP. And that looks like it is it for Kingdom 09. Pretty strong, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of so cool to see Gaming with Chew there. I did see some of his content. Now let's take a look at another kingdom we could fight, and that will be 15. I actually have played against this kingdom in Ark of Osiris, and we won by a little bit. But we have Death Before Dishonor with Queenie as the king. 229 million power, 2.1 billion KP, SVIP. Very, very scary account. You got Legends X here, 73 million power, 2.4 billion KP. That is a strong account. We got Gunner, 75 million power, 690 million KP. Okay. Augustus, I recognize his name. 64 million power, 2 billion KP. I think Augustus was in 85, if I remember correctly. Or maybe it's this, a different one. Could be a different player. We got Cero, 60 million power, 751 million KP. And we got Apollo here, 76 million power, 1.4 billion KP. Okay, they got a lot of strong players here. 52 million power, 291 million KP. A lot of strong players, and 15 migration is still open. So they could get more players here. We got Exclusive here, 51 million power, 375 million KP. We got Vermouth, 44 million power, 565 million KP. I actually recognize this name as well. Don't remember if I wasn't at Kingdom with them or saw them in chat somewhere. We got By Ines, 60 million power, 629 million KP. The Drip James, nice, 55 million power, 289 million KP. A little Akatsuki profile picture, 55 million power, 275 million KP. You got Agape, 51 million power, 411 million KP. Zov here, 45 million power, 613 million KP. And I don't mean to sound like I'm speedrunning it, but we have one more kingdom to go through, and the video is already pretty long, so we gotta pick up the pace a little bit. 50 million power, 626, my bad, million KP. We got Wei, 48 million power, 269 million KP. Aaron, this guy was in 85. I recognize that profile picture. See any chat logs? No. Aaron, 43 million power, 302 million KP. We got Rad here, 60 million power, 338 million KP. We got Dark Gun, 62 million power, 256 million KP. And I'm starting to recognize some of these players. We got Bunny here, 70 million power, 642 million KP. We got Mika, 53 million power, 260 million KP. We got Pindos, 78 million power, 1 billion KP. That just looks so clean. I gotta reach billion KP somehow. I'll hit it probably by KVK 4. 54 million power here, 636 million KP. We got Irvam, 53 million power, 407 million KP. Choco Chip, 57 million power, 448 million KP. Apex Knight, 58 million power, 374 million KP. I think I saw Father Turks typing in the Kingdom, or not Kingdom chat, but Season chat. 35 million power, 505 million KP. We got Rapture here, 58 million power, 603 million KP. Dark Tho, 59 million power, 519 million KP. Be pretty strong. We got Uskup, 53 million power, 523 million KP. Meow Love Yumi, 57 million power, 567 million KP. We got Metloy, 46 million power, 439 million KP. We got Vietnam, shout out Vietnam, 90 million power, 1.3 billion KP. We got Trung To, 65 million power, 271 million KP. We got Jay. I recognize Jay's name. Oh yeah, look at that KP. 78 million power, almost 4 billion KP. I don't know where I recognize Jay from, but I do recognize that name. Very, very strong player. Oh my god. That is a lot of KP. We got Chef Adbu at 45 million power, 413 million KP. We got Turk, 66 million power, 950 million KP. Actually, I think Jay was in 86. Is anyone from 85 can vouch? I recognize him from 86, maybe? Did I play against him? 75, maybe I got that wrong. He was in 3569. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. My bad. We got Astral here, 58 million power, 589 million KP. Vertex, 47 million power, 269 million KP. We got Sam, 68 million power, 1 billion, not 100, 1 billion KP. Nice, good job. We got Diao, 57 million power, 618 million KP. We got Ho Young Nok. I'm butchering these names. I'm gonna try though. 66 million power, 892 million KP, If I mispronounce your name, or if it's in another language like this, please don't get mad at me. I'm trying my best here. We got Black Metal, 49 million power, 448 million KP. We got Carl, 61 million power, 561 million KP. We got Snore here. Actually, we'll do Marin first. 47 million power, 1 billion KP. Nice. Snore here, 56 million power, 165 million KP. We got Papan, 50 million power, I thought it was 1.5 bill, only 150 million KP. We got Navi here, 77 million power, 1.2 billion KP. This kingdom has a lot of KP. And if you looked at the scan earlier, I think they're only 20 billion behind us, which is pretty close, I'm not gonna lie. 66 million power, sorry. Imagine 66 bill, oh my god. 232 million KP. We got Cat here, 43 million power, 193 million KP. We got Metamore, 54 million power, 545 million KP. We got Gungnir, 48 million power, 190 million KP. Neymar, 48 million power, 206 million KP. We got Abe, 48 million power, 441 million KP. Shout out Abe, using my live stream chat earlier. 15, so he's ready to fight us. We got Zedicus, 65 million power, 271 million KP. Naughty Cat, 47 million power, 669 million KP. We got Phoenix, 72 million power, 248 million KP. Ant. This is Ant from 85. That's kind of fun. We get to fight Ant. If you didn't know, Ant got like a billion KP, KVK 2. So insane. Not a billion. I think they're at 800 mil. And they're not 2.5. Oh my god. 36 million power, 1.2 billion KP. Shout out Ant from 85. We got Bappa, 89 million power, 645 million KP. We have Molly, 52 million power, 504 million KP. We got Blizz. This should be an SVIP. Yep. 132 million power, 1.5 billion KP. Now, I will say that the person who spent on this account, I don't think is playing anymore. That's what someone told me. It is now like a pilot account, but still, it's still an SVIP account, you know? It's going to deal a lot of damage. We got Cutie Pie, 65 million power, 145 million KP. Also, that means if we fight 15, we both have 2 SVIPs on the field. We have Purple Lotus and F, and they have Blizz and Queenie, so kind of cool. We got Angel, 72 million power, 1.1 billion KP. Oh my god, that's a lot. A lot of KP. We got Hewlett Lang, 53 million power, 278 million KP. We got Pooty, 142 million power, 1.5 billion. Is this a new player to 15? I did not remember seeing them last time I checked 15 out. Pooty, very, very strong account. Oh my god. We got Kyria, 54 million power, 264 million KP. Ominous Sight, 46 million power, 257 million KP. We got Oris, 49 million power, 458 million KP. We got Balahatun, not free to play. 99 million power, 539 million KP. Yeah, I believe you. You are not free to play. We got Dr. 1903, or DR 1903, 66 million power, 388 million KP. We have Black 420, 52 million power, 209 million KP. Ahmed, 48 million power, 781 million KP. We had Ankas, 73 million power, 342 million KP. Megan, 54 million power, 377 million KP. We got Tangus here, 53 million power, 225 million KP. Yen, 45 million power, 586 million KP. Legolas, The Lord of the Rings is such a good show. Well, I guess it's not a show, it's like a movie series. 43 million power, 169 million KP. We got Knid, 78 million power, 686 million KP. We got Tai, 66 million power, 2.1 billion KP. Okay. The Dark Cow, 47 million power, 102 million KP. Utani, 55 million power, 404 million KP. Ghost Uchiha, 53 million power, 232 million KP, and let's say it's about it. We'll check these ones really fast. Okay, that is 15. Very, very strong kingdom. They have a lot of billion power or billion KP accounts that I didn't know about, so that is kind of cool. And migration's still open over there, so things are subject to change. Now I'll check out 30. Now I have checked out 30, I think 2 times already. but they were also our allies in KVK 2, and they're potential opponents KVK 3. Kind of cool. And they are a 2 alliance kingdom. That's what Z1, their king, was telling me. So yeah, their king is Z1. We got BRGX as their main alliance. Z1 the king, 59 million power, 445 million KP. We have Pantera here, 43 million power, 117 million KP. Sakura, 67 million power, 425 million KP. Uriel, I remember this name, 84 million power, 1.9 billion KP. Holy Mikey, 58 million power, 502 million KP. Osetia, I remember this name as well, 100 million power, 1.7 billion KP. And Luda Northern Lion. Okay, that's it. Whenever I see NL, I think of Northern Lion. If you don't know Northern Lion, he's a great YouTuber. Luda NL. 61 million power, 361 million KP. Alright, we got Trace here. 54 million power, 406 million KP. Big man, okay. 52 million power and 90 million KP. Manila here, 48 million power, 312 million KP. The Apostle. The Apostol. No, Apostle. 51 million power, 336 million KP. We got Chase here, 48 million power, 210 million KP. We got Rod and Morty, 53 million power, 1.3 billion KP. Okay, that is a lot of KP. I did not expect that out of Rod and Morty. Good stuff, man. Okay, we got Taroski, 35 million power, 567 million KP. Adjudicator, 45 million power, 236 million KP. We got Daja, 50 million power, 100 million KP. 54 million power, 184 million KP. We got Murmur, 59 million power, 170 million KP. We got LeBron, 69 million power, 278 million KP. If you guys watch basketball, didn't the Lakers lose last night? We got Amon, 79 million power, 863 million KP. BRG Max, 55 million KP. 55 million power, 121 million KP. We got Rotten Momo, 80 million power, 406 million KP. We got Raw Noon, 54 million power, 201 million KP. We got 65 million power here, 549 million KP. We got Thrashian, 48 million power, 105 million KP. We got Sil, 48 million power, 555 million KP. We got Kiko, 50 million power, 247 million KP. A lot of familiar faces here. We got Katsuma, 54 million power, 2.3 billion KP. Okay. That is a lot of KP. We got Quinta, 64 million power, 418 million KP. The McCollum, 64 million power, 470 million KP. We got Rafa, 57 million power, 321 million KP. We got Axels, 51 million power, 260 million KP. 41 million power farm, okay. Ilyas, 59 million power, 560 million KP. We got Dawn, 53 million power, 348 million KP. Then we got Charmy, 57 million power, 1.3 billion KP. If you didn't know, Charmy, it was top 5 on the DKP leaderboard at the end of KVK. Also, Charmy has a YouTube channel. I think it's Lucky Charmy, so make sure you check him out. He makes some good videos over there. I like watching them. Also, March. Shout out March. He's always in the YouTube chat. The boy. We got Smoke here, 48 million power, 344 million KP. Mylan, 83 million power, 298 million KP. We got Verdi here. Oops, didn't mean to mail you. Boom. 49 million power, 150 million KP. And that looks like it's about it for the first alliance. Now, which one of these is the second alliance? I don't know. I'm gonna guess it's the red one. And I think I was right. 4.6 billion power alliance. Starting off with Kale, 62 million power, 360 million KP. We got K, 67 million power, 408 million KP. BRG Sugar Daddy, 100 million power, 411 million KP. We got Xeon, almost missed him, 55 million power, 217 million KP. Having a 2 alliance kingdom is actually pretty interesting. What I realized when we had a 2 alliance kingdom in 85 was it's kind of hard to defend territory when all your best fighters aren't grouped up. But if they can do it and they can make it work, then they can make it work, you know? What's that? 57 million power, 555 million KP. We got Enos on A, 72 million power, 168 million KP. We got KP, 73 million power, 1 billion KP. Nice. Looking at the R2s here. A lot of 30 to 40 million power players, which is pretty nice. We got Nappy, 45 million power, 104 million KP. We got 46 million power, 114 million KP. And that looks like it is about it for the second alliance. And then let's check the third alliance, see if there's anything. Any hidden members? Nah, it's just a farm. Anyways, those are potential opponents for KVK. Kind of hyped. Super excited to fight KVK 3. And make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And peace.